Alright, so welcome back to Heretic Wargaming. Today we are doing a guerrilla battle report, meaning there's no overhead camera for this one, making it nice and easy. And so today I have Alex. Hi Alex. So as y'all know, Alex was on the channel last testing his Warzone Atlanta, or Warzone...
It was basically Warzone.
It was a Warzone. Yeah, Warzone missions list where he ran a bunch of flyers. So guess what he ran today? A bunch of flyers. So we'll go over to his list here in a second. So let me go ahead and introduce the... Oh, actually, the mission we're playing today is Scenario 5 of ITC. The reason why I picked it was the only page in this whole ITC packet that was not filled out. So, there we go. I know, nice and easy. Normally we roll a dice, but I was just like, oh, this one's empty, so we'll go ahead and pick it. And so, today I have the Nurgle Demon Engines list. So we start out with a spearhead of Nurgle. So these are all red Corsairs. We got 2 Lord Discordants, 3 Venom Crawlers, and 2 Greater Possessed. All Mark of Nurgle, and the Lord Discordants have the autocannons. Then we have a Nurgle Demons Battalion. So it looks all messy right now because everything's just kind of on a tray right now. And so the Nurgle Demons Battalion consists of 3 units of Nurglings, 3, 4, and 4. We have Epidemus, a Poxbringer. And then this is a Demon Prince of Nurgle with the Corruption Relic. And then we have a Spearhead of Death Guard, which is 3 Plague Burst Crawlers. And the Demon Prince of Nurgle with all the bells and whistles, meaning Arch Contaminator and Separating Plate, which I always run. And that is 2,000 points. Now let's go over to Alex and see what the Eldar are running with their new fancy rules. All right, Alex, what are you running?
Alright, so I've got a detachment of Eldar flyers, 2 Hemlocks, Protect Jinx, 3 Crimson Hunter Exarchs. They have star cannons and pulse lasers, and each one is going to replace its, what is it called? The reroll ones to hit, and then they're going to use aerial maneuvering.
Okay.
So instead of pivoting 90 degrees before they move, they can pivot 180 degrees before they move.
That's pretty good.
Okay. And then I have a Blackheart detachment of 3 Razor Wing jet fighters with disintegrator cannons. I have a mixed detachment of Supreme Command. So point drop for the Incarn. She's only 280 now, so I'm going to try her out.
Wow.
Before they get rid of all of my index options, I have a... This is going to be my Warlord. He's an Autarch with the Dark Reaper gun. He's going to have the Warlord trait to target characters with the gun.
Oh.
He's got Swooping Hawk wings.
Okay.
I have a Doom Executioner Farseer on bike. I have an Autarch on bike. He just has the Lance. Ignore the Melta gun. And he's going to have the Nova Lance. So he's the Samhan. I have another Warlock here who is going to have... We've got some new character traits in here. Instead of like a Latok stuff, you can kind of pick 2 of your own. He's going to have the one that makes it to where if you roll a 1, it becomes a 2 on a psychic test. Same thing for the Farseer. I'll figure out what other one I want to pick here. I haven't really looked at the book too much, but that's it.
Oh, because she doesn't break the...
Yep. You can bring a Yannari character, and it does not break the craft roll traits.
Oh, that's cool.
Yep.
No, that's neat. This is the first time I've seen a mixed Yannari thing. So... since they got nerfed. So.
Yep.
And there we go, 2,000 points, and he's using some Phoenix Awakening or Psychic Awakening stuff. So I'm sure we'll be pausing to do this stuff. So like I said, no overhead camera for this game, and we'll move to the lists and deployment. So welcome back after deployment. So for our missions, we have picked, so for me, I picked Big Game Hunter, Old School, and Recon. And Alex has picked Big Game Hunter, behind enemy lines, and recon, which is very fitting for how fast his army is. Now, we did make a mistake. He didn't realize he had to pick the same 2 Craft World attributes for all of his Supreme Command guys. So he picked the 2 reroll, all 1s for psychic powers count as 2, and he can fall back and charge after being in combat, which is really, really good considering he has, a bunch of bikers. And then for his Warlord trait, or relic, he went ahead and took Falshow's Wings. Falshow's Wings. So, and then his Warlord trait and all that stuff remains unchanged. So, now for deployment, Alex has deployed Yvrain with, or sorry, not Yvrain, I would say Yvrain, the Yinkarn with all, looks like a Hemlock and 3 of the Dark Eldar flyers. And over here is all the rest of the flyers with his blob of characters. So, and then for the demon side, I split it up. So over here is my Venom Crawler blob, and then over here is the big old deadly Plague Burst Crawler blob. So now we have not rolled off for first, so I'm going to roll the red dice. Alright, he gets the +1. I roll a 1. He rolled a 5. I'm going to try to seize, but I'm probably not going to get it. Nope. Alrighty. And Alex gets turn 1. So let's see if I live through turn 1 of the Eldar's Onslaught. Alright, so the end of Alex's turn. Pretty brutal, which I knew it was going to. He killed both Lord Discordants. I failed, I think, pretty much every save except for 1. But they both died. To be expected, and he did 4 wounds to that. And then he killed that unit of Nurglings right there. So, not unexpected, but we'll see if I can come back. And so Alex has not scored his turn, but he got a recon point, and
2 big game hunters.
2 big game hunters, and kill more hold. So 5. You got 5 points. So and 3 kills. So we will come back at the end of my turn. All right. So the end of turn 1. Turn 1 for the demons. So I went ahead and made a charge with 2 Greater Possessed into his Farseer here, or sorry, Autok, and squished him. That was your Warlord too, isn't it? Or no, that's the Warlord over there. So, so killed him. Farseer heroically intervened, did nothing. Over here, my Demon Prince put this one at 1 wound. Over here, this Demon Prince put this one at 7. Yeah, because he did 5. And then I've killed 2 of the Raven Wing bomber things. So, and then this guy is at 5 wounds. And then other than that, pretty good. But as far as the score goes, right now I'm ahead by 1. But Alex is hypermobile, so I don't imagine it's going to stay that way for long. So we'll move to Alex's turn 2. Alright, so the end of turn 2. So Alex has killed 1 Greater Possessed, he killed 1 Venom Crawler, and he killed my Demon Prince here. And did a few wounds here. Now, I knew he was going to come after the Demon Prince. The Demon Prince was screwed anyway, because your brain does d6 damage apiece. So, yeah, bye-bye, dude. But which is fine. We're perfectly fine. So, yeah, he scored 3, and we will move on to the demons, turn 2. Wow, it's only turn 2. Okay. Okay, so we still need to score the turn, but the end of the demons, turn 2, so really eventful. I only put a few wounds on this flyer, but in big, I was able to kill the Yinkarn between Venom Crawler, shot at her, and actually hit a bunch of times. I needed 5s to hit her, and I actually rolled really well. And then some sluggers shot at her. She was -1 to hit the whole time because he used his last 2 CP for lightning fast reflexes. Other than that, I was able to kill 2 flyers. So I killed his last Dark Eldar flyer and one with the 1 wound. I actually shot the 2 shots from him. The biggest thing is that actually maxes out my tally because I did kill the Autok as well in close combat. And so at this point, he only has 1 unit that can even hold an objective. So, which is good for me because that means 2. Oh yeah, he's got the Warlock over there. I'm sorry, forgot about the Warlock. And so yeah, which is good for me. But he still has a ton of firepower. I've not killed either Hemlock. Both Hemlocks are still operating, so which is not good for me. But yeah, we'll move on to the Eldar's turn 3, and let's go ahead and score real quick. So I would have maxed out Big Game Hunter. I have not killed his Warlord yet, and I got a recon point. Oh, did I? Okay, so I did kill the Warlord, and I would have gotten a recon point finally. So, and killed 1, hold 1. Who killed more?
I killed 3 that turn.
And I killed 1, 2, 3, 4. So I killed more and I held more that turn. And then what's the bonus? Oh, I have to hold that objective, which I don't. So
I think you have to hold both priority objectives.
Yeah, which is this one and that one. So, all right, we will move to Alex's turn 3. All right, so the end of Eldar turn 3, it was pretty uneventful. He went for the shot to try to kill him. However, because he is now toughness 7 and I get to reroll 1s on all my feel no pains for anything with feel no pain, yeah, he actually withered a hemlock and 2 of these. Now, the biggest part was because now he's wounding him on 5s because of the +1 toughness. And then over here, this hemlock went ahead and shot into this guy. He's doomed and did nothing. He did smite me for 2 damage though. So Alex held 1, and yeah, so we'll move on to my turn 3. All right, so end of my turn 3. So yet again, not much happened. I actually charged the Demon Prince here, and he hit and wounded 3 times on him and killed him. So against all odds, the flyer killed me on Overwatch. So and then over here, I was able to knock that hemlock to half wounds. Okay, so half wounds, and that was it. Really not much going on. But I was able to hold more and hold, and then Alex was able to hold and kill more because he actually killed something. So yeah, we'll move on to Alex's turn 4. Yeah. This is going to go ahead and heal 1 at the beginning of my turn. Are you going to try to charge it or something? I wouldn't do it.
It's giving away a character for a chance at a fail.
Right.
And then I'm out in the open.
Right. And then you're down to 1 character I have to kill. So. Alright, so the end of the Eldar turn 4. So once again, kind of anticlimactic. He did 1 wound here. Put this PVC at 1. Now, caveat to that, I was rolling a lot of saves. So that is a caveat there. And then he put this one to 3 wounds, and I've already healed it for the 1 wound that it gets every turn. So Alex, yet again, holds. So, and he... Oh, you get that at the beginning next turn. So, and he does not get recon this turn because he doesn't have anybody over here. So we will move on to the Demons, turn 4. All right, the end of the Demons' turn. This is turn 4, right? Turn 4. I killed more, held more. So... pretty much, we're going to go ahead and finish up the game. I know we want to finish playing, but really there's not much that's going to happen. It's pretty much going to be his flyers running around trying to secure kill more and me trying to keep holding more. So I will come back at the end of the game. We'll do Alex's post-game thoughts and final score. So stay tuned. Okay, so I'm glad I skipped the last 2 turns because literally Alex was flying circles around me, around the table, and I was chasing him around. So ultimately it came down to so some big highlights that I didn't film over here. His Warlock stayed near the objective while his Farseer fell back, which I was able to charge him with the Venom Crawler. So we allow charging up onto these things. So made it with the Venom Crawler, put the Farseer to 3. Farseer ran away. My Venom Crawler and my PVC were both at 1. And he had the Warlock right there. Well, he went ahead, he killed the PVC, it exploded, and killed the Warlock, which meant he was not holding anything for turn 5, so which was a big swing. And then ultimately on the final turn, I was able to boots on the ground him by killing, because he had to run the Farseer up, which the game was pretty much over at that point anyway. Other highlights. Venom Crawler is left with 2 wounds. He's left with 1 wound because Alex could not roll well and kill him. And yeah, PBC and my Epidemus bubble is just kind of hanging out in the corner. So we will do the final score right now. So I have 3, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, plus 12, so 31. And Alex had 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 18. So no. Great game. So, Alex, thoughts?
I know. I had to kill the... What are they called again? The Discordants?
The Lord Discordants, yeah.
I had to kill those first because that essentially tables me in like 2-3 turns if I don't. And then I think the mistake that I made was not taking out the Venom Spitters faster because they seem to hit on 6s more than they probably should.
I did roll pretty well.
Other than that, I think I underestimated the Possessed as far as my Autarch, so yeah. That died a lot sooner than I thought it would. But yeah, so this is a test list.
What are some things that you would change?
So I have this exact same, I really wanted to try the Incarnate because the points dropped to 280 and it's like my favorite model in the game. So I have this exact same list, except I would change all the characters into 3 wave serpents, 2 warlocks, and a farseer, which is a lot more durable.
Yeah.
Which is probably what I'll run, but like I said, I really wanted to play with the incarn because the points dropped Saturday.
Yeah.
So that's...
No, and I don't know how I would deal with wave serpents as opposed to, especially with the -1 damage. Like that's a... I don't like that.
Yeah,
I don't like that.
that, and then having Kill No Pains on top of that.
Yeah. No, I think ultimately where the game kind of swung way more in my favor was when I was able to get to that 7, because that turn 3 when I had the 7, you know, I was re-rolling all those Feel No Pains when I was rolling the 1s, and you know, things that statistically you should kill, you now was not killing. So no, it was an amazing game, and I'm glad you brought the flyers. I seriously thought I had lost turn 1. Like he killed both Discordants and a unit of Nurglings, which I get Nurglings or Nurglings, but you ripped the Discordants down, which meant you removed my only way to increase my hits, and luckily my dice saved me. Hitting on 6s is no bueno. So, but no, great game, Alex.
Yeah, man. Good game.
So yeah, and I will see you guys in the post-game wrap-up. So I hope you guys enjoyed this battle report. It was a lot of fun. Now, I want to apologize. So the reason why we did a guerrilla battle report is we did not have a lot of time to film. And on top of it, I did forget some of my equipment at home. So I'm sorry. So we're trying some new things here on the channel. So whenever I say it's a guerrilla battle report, it's going to be one where I don't do the overhead camera. And so these are going to be nice abbreviated. As you guys can tell, this battle report was incredibly quick compared to some of my normal ones. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this. I know it doesn't like go super tactical into things, and so that's usually where we do the wrap up and talk about things, you know, at the end, because in the middle of the game it's like, hey, this is what's happening, and we're just trying to cliff note it, you know. So but anyways, so please leave a comment regardless one way or the other. Now, as far as the game goes, when I started this game, I honestly thought I was going to lose horribly. Now, if you tell somebody you're taking Demon Engines against Eldar Flyers, they're going to tell you the same thing, right? You should lose horribly. Now, I will say that I did have the benefit that I actually did roll pretty well. I'm not going to say like ridiculously crazy well, because you know you can negate a lot of the Laytok bonuses just by getting closer to them. So, you know, when my Venom Crawlers were closer to him, I was hitting on 5s as opposed to 6s. Now at range, I was hitting on 6s, and I did roll a decent amount of 6s. Now, the biggest benefit is the fact that, you know, when I was near the Demon Prince and when I was near the Poxbringer, I was getting the +1 damage, which was actually a huge thing in this game. And so anytime I was rolling a 6 to hit, I was pretty much auto-wounding, you know, 3 up because I was strength 9, but and so those Venom Crawlers were actually doing a lot of work. You know, turn 1 they killed, and so the Drukhari flyers were a lot easier to tear out of the sky, and so that's actually why I targeted those first. Well, A, because they were close to the Plague Burst Crawlers. B, they have a much lower a save, and then C, they were a lot easier to hit at -1 as opposed to -2. Now, the reason why Alex did not pop Lightning fast was he does not actually have a lot of CP. So he had a Supreme Command, 2 Flyer detachments, and then the 3 to start with. So actually, you know, using Lightning fast was a third of his CP. And he did not gain any back. He did have the Warlord trait or something to get CP back on, I think it's a 5-up or a 6-up. I can't remember. So, but he never gained any back. So when he was CP rerolling or whatever, he never gained 1 back, which was kind of a huge deal. So he wasn't able to sit there and just spam like hey, you targeted something, I'm gonna lightning fast. Now, some other things in this game is that because I was only hitting on a 6-up, normally with like I was actually using the mortars to shoot at Eldar Flyers. There you go. You heard it here first. This is probably the first time and last time I will ever do this. And so the only way I was able to do that was I could not move the Plague Burst Crawlers. So pretty much if there was not a flyer near them that I had to get to and shoot, or something that I had to get to and shoot, I was not moving those. So turn 1 I did move them, but I actually used the the mortars against the Drukhari flyers because I was hitting those on 6s. And so it was actually a big deal. And the mortars, as a matter of fact, did secure a couple plane kills. So oddly enough, now yet again, the +1 damage from the Poxbringer was a huge deciding factor there too. Because with Arch Contaminator, I was re-rolling the wounds, and it was a huge thing. So yes, you can beat Eldar flyers with Demon Engines. It can happen. There's proof in the pudding. And it wasn't for Alex playing bad at all. I played the best game I figured that I could. My dice did help me out in a few occasions. Now, towards the end, obviously, I was able to get flamers there. And at that point, my Venom Crawlers were kind of in the middle of the field. So I was able to pretty much just be at -1 to hit as opposed to -2. And so I was able to actually tear flyers out of the sky pretty decently. And I will say that Epidemus is a huge factor too, because pretty much having a Demon Prince on everything means the cool thing is those Demon Princes are there initially. Now the Arch Contaminator Demon Prince, obviously I keep him near the PVCs to reroll all the wounds. However, the other Demon Prince is there initially to help the Venom Crawlers and the Lord Discordants go ahead and hit their initial targets and get me some early kills. Once that happens, that Demon Prince can just peel off and do whatever he wants. And with the Corruption Relic, he's actually incredibly deadly. And so in the beginning, he almost killed a flyer by himself. Had I rolled better on my damage, I actually would have killed that flyer, which would have been a huge deal. And then he almost would have killed a second one, but Alex rolled well that time and killed me on Overwatch, which he was super surprised and he was super happy about, because he's like, man, I had to have a break, and it actually helped a lot, because that was my last flying model, which means I could no longer tie him up in combat. And the fact that PVC blew up and killed that Warlock was actually a huge factor too. So a big thing against Eldar flyers is that they don't usually only, especially if they invest this heavily on flyers, is they have very few things to actually capture objectives. So if you can actually start killing those things pretty early, which I got pretty lucky, wiping out that Autok and his Farseer and his other Autok. Yeah, I wiped out all 3 of those in like the first 2 turns. And so after that had happened, then, he really didn't have much else to combat me as far as holding objectives. So at that point, I was pretty much uncontested. I could hold 3 objectives with impunity, and there was nothing he could do. And so that's kind of the game I started playing at that point was, hey, I just need to have stuff near these objectives. And he was trying to peel me away. He had to give up on even trying to attempt that Nurgling objective, because even with the multiple damage guns, yes, he could have peeled all the Nurglings away, but he would have been wasting all that firepower on things that couldn't touch him. And he had to actually tackle things that could. And he was trying his best to try to protect those characters that could hold his objective on his end. So Alex was doing really well. It just, I did. My dice helped me. So can't lie. Dice did help me out here this game. Because hitting on 6s that first turn, I was like, or 5s against the Dark Eldar flyers. And I think he regretted not popping lightning fast, because he did not actually expect that I was actually going to kill a flyer. He's versed in Venom Crawlers because his brother plays them, but I don't know if his brother plays them like how I do. And so when that first Venom Crawler shot at that Dark Eldar flyer and I think I stripped like 6 wounds off of it in that first round, that first Venom Crawler shooting at it, he's like, what? Whoa. And then the second one shot it and blew it up. And then the third one shot at like another flyer or something like that. So, or no, I think it finished off the PVCs couldn't quite secure their kill. And so then like they had to help finish it off. So, and so like I don't think he was expecting it. And so I think if I were to face him again, I can almost guarantee you the very first thing I point those Venom Crawlers at, he's going to pop lightning fast on. Now, the Lord Discordants are a huge factor in a game like this, because they help out tremendously with this matchup with +1 to hit. And then on top of it, if I can get those Discordants close to those planes, it makes those planes not nearly as reliable on hitting me. Now, talking to Alex after the game, there's a lot of things he's changing. This was kind of a test to see if Yinkarn could mesh well with the flyers, and he didn't really like how that played out. He kind of explained what the whole theory behind the list was, and he's like, yeah, I just don't see, like, in the rare situations that I can get my little game plan off where Yin Karn can pop up and then just heroically intervene. It's not a common thing. And so he's actually moving more to like some, I think he said 2 wave serpents and just some HQs and a supreme command. Kind of, it's going to be the same general list, just he's making that tweak, and I think he's doing a late talk for that too. When I was asking him, what do you thought of the things in Psychic Awakening, he said that he initially doesn't play, like, he just bought a house, so he hasn't had a lot of time to play, so he's just kind of meta listing off of what's been doing well lately. So and that's kind of why he's moving the way he is. He's not really like in the I'm gonna test a lot of new things out. Him testing new things out was actually testing out the make your own craft world thing with the 2-up for the psychic. If you roll 1, it counts as 2 and that sort of thing. So and so I greatly enjoyed. This was a great test, and it actually greatly boosted my confidence in the Nurgle Demon Engines, because this was one of those matchups that I did not feel confident going into. It was one of those things that I felt like it's an absolute hard counter to my list, and so now I know that I can actually possibly tackle it. Now, obviously, dice being a factor, and a lot of other things being a factor, but terrain is going to be a huge factor in this matchup. So, but no, thank you, Alex. Thank you so much for the game. Now, hopefully you guys enjoyed this battle report. I know that pretty much my post-game thoughts are pretty much as long as the whole battle report was itself. But if you guys enjoy this channel, please subscribe, please share. I'm all about sharing. Share the page, get some other people here, and share Nurgle's love. And if you guys want to interact with me or interact with I've got a crew of guys. They're not really my crew, but I guess you kind of call us posse. We always talk on Discord. Join our Discord channel, which you guys can find the channel below, and then obviously like us on Facebook. Now, if you guys are feeling generous, please check out our Patreon page. I'm not as high. I do what I'm supposed to, give everybody the rewards that they want, but I don't post every single video when it comes out on Patreon, because that is not my primary way of getting the word out about the channel. That is Facebook, as a matter of fact, and I self-promote shamelessly on Facebook, so I'm sorry for you guys who see all my posts or already like the page and then you guys see my posts. But so hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Please get out there, check out, try some new stuff, and keep living that heretic lifestyle, as Scary said in my interview. So, and as always, thanks for watching Heretic Wargaming, where chaos reigns.